Man, we got a good one tonight. Adjust the camera, son. Come on in, come on in. Raymond, what's up with you, my brother? Man, we got an interesting conversation tonight. You know what I mean? And just, I didn't shave today, so I gotta rock the hat because I got like the little stubbles going on. Man, I look rough. You know what I mean? I got the little stubbles going. Yeah. So I'll shave after the video. But man, I want to have a real heart to heart with you guys tonight. Man, on behalf of my mother-in-law, man, I bless each and every one of you that catch this live. For those of you that catch this later on the replay, man, may God bless each and every one of you as well. So yesterday we were doing a live and backtrack for a second, man. First and foremost, hey, we're still doing the free coaching, free mentoring sessions. If you guys would like a free coaching session, a free mentoring session, you're dealing with some stress, some anxiety, some fear, some hatred, some abandonment issues, whatever you got going on, man, and you need somebody to talk to, somebody that's going to keep it real with you, man, don't hesitate to shoot me an email at ElijahAmmi@gmail.com. I know I come across like on the video, like, man, I'm just hard and just an asshole, you know what I mean? It's just straight up. But man, in real life, you know, I have a sense of humor in real life, man. I'm not as, what's up with you, Paul? I'm not as, you know, in your face, you know, when we're doing the coaching sessions. So just want to throw that out there. It's free of charge. Man, we'll continue that for the rest of this month. I'll know if we'll continue that after this month. But again, you can reach me at ElijahAmmi@gmail.com. So we're doing it live yesterday, and a couple of the subscribers, I don't even know if they're subscribers, a couple of the people that on the live, Uzu asked me to talk a little bit about shadow work, and Killer Queen asked to talk about a little bit in regards to soul ties. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. It's going to get real sensitive. It's going to get probably trigger some of you. It's probably going to piss some of you off. It's probably going to offend some people. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know, that's not my intention. My intention is just to share information, but to keep it as real as possible. That being said, let's get into it. I'm nervous. You know, it's just this nervousness just hit me all of a sudden. I've talked about both topics a lot, you know, shadow work and soul ties. Um, Probably the first time I really got into looking into soul ties was probably back in 2015. I had heard a lot about it, but I never really had a whole, what's up with you, Eileen? Man, I haven't seen you or talked to you in a minute. Bless you. I haven't really dove into it and really studied it in depth. Um, and one of the things that we misconstrue a lot of when it comes to soul ties is that we always think soul ties have something to do with sex. We think that soul ties, we can only have soul ties with people that we have sex with, you know, or we have some type of sexual relationship with, whether it's a husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case may be. Those are the only people that we have soul ties with. Nothing can be further from the truth. Nothing can be further from the truth. You know what I mean? And so today we're going to hopefully have a deep conversation in regards to soul ties. And if you have questions, man, don't hesitate to get those written into the comment section, and hopefully we'll be able to get the answers to some of those as we're going along the way. If not, I'll just make a video later and tag you on that video and get the answers for you. So back in 2015, I was in a marriage, another marriage, and my wife had stage 4 breast cancer, and we knew she was passing away. She was going to die. And it was real hard because I just lost my only brother to colon cancer. And now a few months later, I'm losing my wife to breast cancer. And so I'm having to have this real hard, close look at death. You know what I mean? And I never really looked at death this closely. Stay with me, going somewhere. And so I'm sitting there and I'm just looking back at my life and I'm just mad and just on one. I'm just having this conversation with God. Man, why? Why does everybody I love die? And I had this victim mentality. Stay with me, losing my mom early in life, and so it's like now my wife is now leaving, you know what I mean? And so I'm sitting and I'm having this conversation with God. Why? And so God asked me a question. It's like, what did you learn from this? And I'm pissed. I'm like, what the fuck? I blew up. You know what I mean? I blew up. What the fuck am I supposed to learn from this? How the fuck what are you supposed to learn from somebody that you love, somebody you care about dying? What's up with you, he? And so I'm sitting there and I'm crying because I'm about to lose my wife. And I'm mad at God because God has the audacity to ask me, what am I learning about this situation? What am I learning about dealing with my wife and knowing that she's going to pass at any given moment? You know what I mean? They didn't give her 6 months. And so I'm having to come to grips with all of this. And so I'm sitting there and I'm having this heart-to-heart conversation. We're talking about soul ties, stay with me. And I'm sitting having a conversation with God. Why? We're also talking about shadow work. They go hand in hand. Stay with me. And so I'm sitting there and I'm crying and I'm mad and I'm cussing God out because I don't understand his point. I don't understand why he's asking me, what did I learn from this? What am I learning from this? Because at that time, I didn't understand that everything was always working out for my good. At that time, I didn't understand that, man, in every situation we go through, in every circumstances we face, man, there's always a lesson in it. There's always a lesson. But you don't think about that when you're facing death, when you're thinking about losing a loved one, or you looking at a tragic loss. You don't think about the lessons. And so I'm sitting there, and for the first time in my life, I'm having this real heart-to-heart conversation with God about death. Because I really hadn't even completely processed the fact that I just lost my brother. And before I can completely heal from the fact that I just lost my only brother, they're telling me my wife is now going to die. And so I couldn't even heal from my brother because now, instead of facing the loss of my brother, man, I completely shifted to now I'm facing looking at my wife. I'm not even focused on my brother. He's gone. I'm not even dealing with that loss anymore. Because now I got a bigger problem. Now I got something slapping me in the face and it's hurting me bad. It's got my whole world fucked up. Man, death of my wife. And God has the audacity to ask me, what am I learning from this? What did I learn from this? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, God, I don't get it. And I'm pissed and I'm mad. Because I think God has a twisted sense of humor. I think God hates me. I think God really can't stand me. And I'm damned to fucking hell. Whatever that is. Because my whole life I grew up hearing that I was going straight to hell. And so I'm sitting there for the first time having a real heart-to-heart conversation with God about death. And God talks to me about soul ties. But he's talking to me, Elijah, there's a lesson here. Don't miss the fact that there's some stuff you got to deal with. There's some valuable lessons here. I know you're hurting because you're going to lose your wife. But there's some shit you have to deal with. So he's not just talking to me about soul ties. He's talking to me about shadow work. And I'm not understanding what the fuck he's talking about when he's talking about shadow work. And so he's telling me, Elijah, you're mad. And if the truth be told, you're angry because you're about to lose your wife. just like you're angry that you lost your mom. And see, for the first time in my life, my adult life, what's up with you shouting workouts? For the first time in my adult life, man, I was remembering the death of my mom. And I remembered the abandonment issues that I got from my mom dying. This is part of the shadow work we don't talk about. And so my mom died May 7th, 1972. Here it is, man, it's 2015. And I didn't understand that I had abandonment issues still from my mama dying. See, all the women that left me between my mama dying and my wife passing away, I just look at these raggedy ass bitches, you know what I mean? They don't look fucking good for them. You know what I mean? I'm just looking at them and blaming these trifling ass fucking women. I'm not even understanding the fact that I got abandonment issues. Shadow work. And so God's reminding me, Elijah, let's walk back down memory lane. And see, shadow work is going back down memory lane. Shadow work is going into the deep subconscious thoughts of your mind. And understanding why you are the way you are. Why you feel and think the way you do. What happened in your life to make you think the way you do? What happened in your life to make you respond and act the way you do? And so I'm sitting there and I'm going back down memory lane with God, and I'm thinking about my younger kids, mama who left me for her ex-boyfriend who dogged her out, cheated on her, beat her, and did all kinds of raggedy ass shit to her. So she said. But then she left our marriage to hook back up with this motherfucker. And so it's easy for me to dismiss her and it's like that trifling ass bitch. And I had all kinds of names for her at the time because I was hurt. I didn't understand the fact that I was triggered by her leaving me because it reminded me of my mama leaving me. And so it broke my heart that she left and took the kids. But if the truth be told, it broke my heart because it was a reminder and a trigger to my mama leaving, and I was helpless. I couldn't stop my mama from being murdered. Just like I couldn't stop my wife from leaving with the kids. Just like I couldn't stop my current wife, Cecilia at the time, from dying from cancer. So now that I've been triggered of feeling helpless, hopeless, and abandoned. So shadow work is us going inside of our mind and remembering what happened. That's shadow work. That's shadow work. See, you gotta do that in order to heal. In order to move beyond where you're at. You have to deal with your thinking and your belief system in order to move beyond your current belief system. In order to change your perspective, you have to deal with and understand why you have the perspective you have in the first place. And so I'm sitting there and I'm just sitting there and I'm looking at my wife. And I'm mad and angry. And I'm not mad and angry at her. I'm mad and angry because she's leaving. I'm mad and angry because I can't do anything to fix her. I'm mad and angry because I can't do anything to change the circumstances. Just like I couldn't change the circumstances when my ex decided to pack up the kids and hook back up with her ex-boyfriend. Nothing I could do, nothing I could say to change that. Just like there was nothing I could do as a 2-year-old kid watching my mama get stabbed to death. And so part of the pain and the hurt that I dealt with is sitting here watching my wife. It's a loss, yes. But because I hadn't dealt with that trauma of my past, because I haven't dealt with the abandonment issues, and the trip is, it also triggered the fact that, man, Elijah, you have codependency issues. You have codependency issues because you lost your mama the way you did, and because you haven't resolved the issue. And so I'm sitting there, and God has asked me, what are you learning from this? What are you learning from the fact that your wife is getting ready to pass away? And I'm mad and angry at God because I'm like, why? Out of all the people you could have taken, out of all the raggedy, ratchet ass motherfucking people in the world, all the toxic, hateful, murderous motherfuckers in the world, why did you have to take her? She wasn't nothing like that. And so what I had to realize was, had God taken all the other people, the people that I didn't give a fuck about, I would have never got the message. It would have never affected me the way it did. It would have never impacted me the way it did. It would have never had that tower moment for me, where my world is flipped upside down. It would have never had that pivotal moment, that life-changing moment, where I'm at a crossroad, where I can continue to go down the path that I am of negativity and being a victim and hate and all that other stuff, or I could go down another road of growth and development and healing. See, we have these tragic things come into our lives for a reason. And most of the time, it's a fork in the road. It's a life-changing moment. And so I'm sitting there and I'm looking at my wife and the tears are running down my eyes. And so then God's talking to me about soul ties. And so the first thing we think about, it always has to be your lover. It always has to be the person you're dating, the person you're intimate with sexually. But the truth be told, the great majority of our soul ties aren't from people that we've been intimate with sexually. The great majority of a lot of us, for us that are chosen ones that have come from fucked up past, from fucked up childhoods, the great majority of us, we come from soul ties with people we've never had sex with. Stay with me, about to get heavy. So I'm sitting there and God showed me, Elijah, you hate your daddy because he murdered your mama. You hate your daddy because he rejected you as a little baby. You hate your daddy because of how abusive he was physically and emotionally. You want to kill your daddy. Elijah, you don't even understand the soul tie that you have with your father. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Because my understanding of soul ties at that time was they were all sexual. And we're going to talk about sexual soul ties in a little bit, but let me lay the foundation with this one right here. And so there's soul ties that we have with people that have fucked us up emotionally. We have soul ties with people that have dogged us the fuck out. And a lot of us come from broken families where our parents were abusive to us emotionally and they fucked us up. They messed up our self-esteem, and they're the reason why if we could say that we hate ourselves so much. They're the reason we're so insecure. Whether it's from a mother, an abusive mother, whether it's from a mother that wasn't loving and affectionate, whether it's from a mother that was always dismissive and demanding of you, whether it's from a father that never saw your best, that never appreciated your efforts, whether it's from a father that was just cold and callous, all he cared about was having his fucking drink, his fucking alcohol, his fucking dope. Whether it's from a brother or a sister that dogged you out. See, one of the other soul ties that I have come from my baby sister. See, I got a little sister. You guys have heard me mention her name, Tish. That girl has fucked my life up. You know what I mean? Man, we got the same mama and the same daddy. This heifer, man, from the gate, every relationship that I tried to get in, she's tried to fuck it up. Everyone. Every marriage I had, she's tried to fuck it up. This is my blood sister. And so what God was showing me with my daddy, what God was showing me with my trifling ass fucking sister, was that Elijah. See, you hate them so much because you don't understand what a soul tie is. You hate them so much because you don't remember the soul connections or the soul bonds or the soul contracts that you made with them before you got here. And so I'm thinking, ain't no way in hell I'm making a contract with my trifling ass abusive father. Ain't no way in hell I'm making a contract with my bitching ass fucking sister. If she died, I wouldn't shed a fucking tear. I wouldn't miss her. The world would be a better place. And that's how I felt for the longest time. If she died, man, the world would be better. If my father died, the world would be a better place. And so what God had to walk me back down. See, when you do shadow work, that's going into your subconscious thoughts. Okay? When you start looking at soul ties, man, that's spiritual. God has to take you down that memory lane. God has to walk you down that path. See, there's the difference. See, we talked a lot about this yesterday. Man, when you do it, your ego and your mind and stuff, your remembrance, man, you got to walk back down your ego, your shadow. You got to do this work all up in here. The head work. Soul contracts. Soul ties. That's a spiritual connection that God has to show you and reveal to you. But you still got to be able to sit there and accept it and learn the lesson. See, when you have a soul tie that hurts you emotionally, it's a deep pain. It's a deep hurt. And so those people that cause you the most pain to where you want to commit suicide, odds are you have a soul contract with them. Those people that have broken your heart and just fucked your life up, man, you have a soul contract with them. And you have a soul tie to them. And so God had to show me, Elijah, your soul, before he came back to this earth, your soul was in heaven. Let's say all the souls are there. And we all have these soul families. And it's a trip because, man, you can meet somebody that you've never met in the physical realm, not be related to whatsoever. And it's like, man, I know you. We have this kindred spirit. We have this bond that's just natural. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know how I know you. I don't know how I remember you. We've never met in this physical realm. But our souls are crying out, I know you. Our souls are jumping, saying, that's one of mine. That's my family. That's my true family. There's a passage in the Bible where it says that Jesus' mom, before Jesus was born, Mary was pregnant with Jesus. And he went to go meet, she went to see Elizabeth. And Elizabeth was pregnant, and she was pregnant with John the Baptist. And Jesus and John the Baptist was cousins. And it says that John the Baptist in his mother's womb leaped with joy, leaped with excitement when Mary came in and he was in the vicinity of Jesus. Why? Because he recognized his spirit. He recognized the soul tie, the soul contract that they had. Most people, religious people, don't talk about that. They just miss that part. They ignore that part. And so we have these soul ties, these soul contracts with these souls before we come to earth. And so the soul contract is, man, we agree that, man, you want to learn this, you want to experience this, you want to go through this, we'll do it. Okay, cool. I'm going to come back, I'm going to be so-and-so, and I'm going to da-da-da-da. I'm going to be da-da-da, and we're going to come down here, and we're going to help each other grow, and we're going to help each other learn, and we're going to do all this stuff for each other. Oh, you want to be brokenhearted. You want your life messed up and you want to learn healthy boundaries and you want to learn self-love and what do. Okay, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to fuck your world up. I'm going to crush your spirit. I'm going to make you suicidal and depressed. I'm going to break your heart to the very fiber of it. You know what I mean? I'm going to destroy you. Why? Not because I hate you, but because you have to learn self-love, because you have to learn healthy boundaries, because you have to learn how to value and love your motherfucking self. And so the way for me to teach you that is to hurt you. By me hurting you, it's going to crush you. Till you get to the point when you throw up your hands and you surrender. And you start learning how to value yourself, how to love yourself. And you stop looking for love from everybody else. You stop looking for love from all these other people. You stop looking for validation and approval and affirmations from everybody else. Because I crushed you so much. You'll never look for love and affirmations from anybody else. Because you'll learn to love yourself. You'll learn to find peace and joy and happiness from within yourself. You won't be looking at other people to fulfill you. You won't be looking for other people to make you happy. You won't be looking for things, money, cars, houses, and all this other superficial shit to make you happy anymore. I'm going to come down and be the catalyst for your tower moments. I'm going to come down and I'm going to be so hated by you. But I love you so much that I'm willing to come down and be the bad guy. So that you can learn. So that you can grow. Oh, this is what you've done to people in your past? Okay, I'll come down and I'll go through this and I'll do this to you. Not because I hate you, not because I don't like you, not because I don't love you, but because you need to learn the lesson. You need to learn the pain that you caused other people. And so I'll come down and I'll be the bad guy. I'll come down and I'll be the most hated villain walking the planet. Because it's going to help you grow up. It's going to help you go into yourself and start dealing with your shadow work. It's going to help you understand the soul ties and the soul contracts we have. It's going to give you a greater understanding of who you really are. So you got to be crushed. You got to be crushed. You got to be broken. So you can build yourself back up. You got to be crushed. You got to be broken. Why? So you can see how resilient you are. So you can see how brave and courageous you are. So you can see how strong you really are. So you got to go through the pain. And I'm the one that's going to come and I'm going to cause you to go through all of this pain. And if you don't learn the lesson from me, there's going to be other people that you make contracts with, and they're going to come down and they're not going to remember you, and you're not going to remember them. And they're going to cause you the same type of pain, the same type of suffering. Why? Because you didn't remember the lesson. You didn't understand the lesson. You didn't see the lesson in the pain that I caused you. You just hated me and cursed the fact that I was born. You just damned me to hell, but you never took the time to sit there and try to figure out the life lesson. You were so busy fixated on me and damning me and criticizing me that you never evolved and grow to reach your better version of yourself. You talked all that spiritual stuff. You talked all that forgiveness, but you didn't really forgive me. You didn't really learn the lesson. And so God's sitting there talking to me. And so I'm like, oh my God. And so she said, Elijah, your daddy came here to inflict all of this hell on you, to be the catalyst of your self-hatred, to be the catalyst of your abandonment issues, to be the catalyst of you feeling hopeless and helpless and feeling like you don't have a voice. Nobody hears you. Nobody cares about your pain and your suffering. Nobody cares about how you feel. And if that's not enough, your little sister, she's going to come there. And your little sister, she's going to represent all the other women. And she's going to represent women that have dogged you the fuck out. And from the time you was little, your sister has dogged you the fuck out. Why? Because she was trying to get you to understand and try to get you to learn that, man, don't look for women to find your peace. Don't look to women to find your joy. Don't look to women to find your fulfillment. Don't look to women to find your appreciation and your value in women. You have to learn to love and value yourself. You have to learn to say, man, I don't care what my family say. I don't care what my family do. Man, I'm all right. I'm going to love me. I'm going to value me. I'm going to appreciate me. But what most of us do, we look at all the pain and suffering that we've gone through. And we're so full of hatred. We're so full of disgust and pain. And the pain turns to hatred. The pain turns to bitterness. The pain turns to animosity. The pain turns to distrust. And a whole bunch of other stuff. And we never even learn that, man, had a soul contract. You came here to help me be my best, the best version of me. You came here to be a great teacher for me. And I've never seen you as a teacher. I've seen you as a sorry piece of shit. I've seen you as a sack of pus. I've seen you as filthy and grime and nasty and all this other toxic negative shit. But I've never seen you as my teacher. I've never seen you as a valuable ally. And so what God had to show me in 2015 is I'm sitting there thinking about my wife passing away and all this other shit just coming to me all at once. Me having to deal with my anger and my hatred for my daddy. Me having to deal with my anger and my hatred for my sister. And I realized, damn. My wife, her situation, her dying, triggered all of this. Her dying, her sitting there and passing away from cancer was the catalyst that led me down this path. And so, while I was so mad and angry at God, I had to sit there and say, oh my God, okay. Because he had to show me something. You mad because I'm taking your wife. They gave her 6 months. There's a lot of people, they lost a loved one. Boom, without any notice. A car accident, a stray bullet, a heart attack, a brain aneurysm, a plane crash. Being at the wrong place at the wrong time. And they were the victim of violence. Elijah, you lost your mama in the split of an eye. You lost your mama just like that. One day she was here holding you and smiling and singing to you and caressing your head. And the next day you're watching her being stabbed 49 fucking times and you're screaming and crying and there's nothing you can do to make her feel better. There's nothing you can do to take the pain away. There's nothing you can do to cry out for help. You're crying and nobody's coming. Nobody's stopping your daddy from stabbing her. And here, your wife, she left with the kids. And she wrote you this Dear John letter. And it fucked you up. And it came out of nowhere. It fucked you up. Now, your wife has cancer. And they're telling you she got 6 months. If she lives 6 months or she lives longer than 6 months, you got more time with her to say your goodbyes. You got time with her for closure. You got time with her to make some positive memories. You got time to make shit right. See, when your mom was gone, when your mom was taken out the game, there was no time. It happened just like that. When your wife left and went back to her boyfriend, it happened just like that. There was no closure for that. Now I'm giving you closure with your wife. I'm giving you time to make everything right. And you're still pissed. You're still mad. You're still ungrateful. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my God. I felt so ashamed. I felt so embarrassed. Because, man, all of a sudden, there's newfound wisdom, newfound understanding. I saw life totally different. I saw my daddy different. I saw my trifling ass sister different. I saw my wife passing away from cancer. Different. The circumstances are still the same. But now I'm learning to look for the lesson. Now I'm understanding the lessons. And all of the lessons were to help me grow, were to help me deal with some of my issues, shadow work. And so he had to show me about the soul ties and the soul contracts. Why? Because we want to victimize ourselves and say we're a victim of these people anger and these people hatred and these people ignorance and we're such a victim and woe is me. I didn't do nothing wrong in life. But God had to show me, no, you're not a fucking victim. You signed a contract with this motherfucker. You're not a victim. You signed up for this shit. You might not remember it, but you signed up for this. You chose to come here to go through the pain and the suffering. They're not doing anything to you that you didn't already pre-approve, that you didn't already green light. Instead of you looking at them as the bad guy, man, you need to change your perspective. What is the lesson? See, as long as you look at people as them being the bad guy, because look at what they did, and they did with the whoop, and I don't give a damn if they rape people. I don't give a damn if they murder people. I don't give a damn if they kidnap people. Whatever those people went through, there was a soul contract between them and that other person. Every kid that's gotten kidnapped, every woman that's gotten raped, every boy, every girl that's gotten molested, get kidnapped, murdered, whatever, there was a soul contract signed and agreed on before they went through it. That's a hard pill to swallow. And most of us don't want to accept that because we want to stay in our victim fucking mentality. We want some sympathy. We want the world to feel sorry for us because of all the shit we've gone through. Shit's just not fair, and we'll do it, and all this other bullshit. And so what God had to show me was, they're not the bad guy. Your perspective is wrong. You see them as the bad guy because you haven't learned the lesson. You see them as the bad guy because you're not telling yourself the truth. You see them as the bad guy because you're not having a heart-to-heart conversation with yourself about what's real and what's make-believe. What's real is, man, you agreed to this bullshit. What's real is, man, they ain't doing anything that you didn't agree to. And so, man, when we start looking at soul ties, start looking at soul contracts. See, most of us have soul ties with people that have fucked us up. We all have soul ties with people that have fucked us up. You do. But you also have soul ties with people that came into your life to show you love, to show you a better way, to help you make it past the stage of trauma and drama you're currently in, to help you get unstuck. You have a soul tie with them too. You have a soul contract with them too. See, not all soul ties are bad. Not all soul ties are bad. It's your perspective that's twisted. See, you can have a soul tie with somebody that's speaking love and light and that's, man, a beacon of hope into your life. And they've helped you out of that dark and suicidal stage. They've given you hope and they've empowered you to speak the truth and to walk the life that you came here to be. You have a soul tie with them too. You have a soul tie with the people that's constantly encouraging you and lifting you up. See, it's easy for us to focus on bad stuff. It's easy for us to be victims of our circumstances. And woe is me, and my life is so fucked up, and nobody cares. But we completely miss the fact. All the people that's encouraged us, all the people that's told us, man, I'm proud of you. Man, you got this. Man, great job. Man, you did your thing on that. Man, you can do this. Man, I'm here for you. And they're there whenever you're sad, and whenever you're frustrated, whenever you're suicidal, whenever you're angry and you want to go left, whenever you want to get a bat, a gun, a knife, and do some shit to some motherfuckers that's fucking hurt you, and that motherfucker's talking you down off the roof, off the ledge. You have a soul tie with that person too. Because you agree, and they agree to come here. Man, I'll come here and listen to your whining ass, your crazy twisted ass, all the crazy stupid shit you want to do. I'll be the person come here and reel your ass back in. Every time you want to do something stupid, every time you want to go put some sugar in his gas tank, every time you want to go take a knife to his fucking tires, every time you want to go scratch up his car and bust his windows and kick in the door and beat that hoe's ass, and we'll do every time you want to do some stupid ass shit like that, I'm here for you. So that you don't fuck up your life. It's a trip. Going back to my sister. The one that's fucked up every one of my relationships tried to, right? Same sister. Oh, this was 2000, no, 96. Going through a situation, just talked about this not too long ago. Going through a situation, right? Now I'm finding myself a single parent of my two kids, right? My two older kids, only kids I had at the time, right? And so I'm going through this situation where, man, now I'm having to raise them all by myself. And I'm broke, but I'm in the military and I'm in LA at the time, and I'm a struggling single parent. And see, the young lady that I was with, man, she's going off doing her own fucking thing. You know what I mean? She hooked up with some Arab dude. See, I had abandonment issues and didn't know it. I had codependency issues and didn't know it. And so she left me with the kids. She abandoned me with the kids and hooked up with somebody with money. And she driving around in his Bentley. And we fucking struggling. And so, man, I get all dressed up in black. I got on my black pants, my black high-tech boots, man, black hoodie. Man, I'm about to creep across the street with a crossbow and take both of them motherfuckers out. I'm about to end both of their lives because she hurt me. And who the fuck did she think she was to be hurting me? See, I didn't realize I was a lot more like my daddy than I thought. See, I legally changed my name because I was named after him. In 1995, I legally changed my name so that I wouldn't be named after my sorry ass fucking dad. I didn't want no remembrance of my raggedy ass fucking pappy. Because I didn't want nothing, I didn't want to be nothing like him. And so I'm facing this situation where she left me. And now I'm struggling raising my kids. Still talking about soul ties, stay with me. Still talking about shadow work. And so she left me. And I'm all dressed in black. And just the day before, I had found a cell phone. I stole a cell phone, actually. Everybody had pagers back then. Nobody really had cell phones. Cell phones were just starting to come out. And my sister, the one that's tried to fuck the ball in my relationships, the one that's, man, on some bullshit from the gate. Man, she lived in Riverside at the time. And I was living in San Pedro. Long distance phone call. And so I'm on the phone and I call her up one night. And I'm like, Tish, and in the background, I got Snoop and Pac blasting Two of America's Most Wanted, and I got it on repeat. In my hand, I'm drinking some Crown and some Coke. I'm popping Vicodin and Darvis said, and I can't remember what it is, Tylenol 3 with codeine. Because I went to the doctor and told them I had back pain so they could send me home. Because I got to get all this shit into motion. I got to get my stuff right, my alibi right, my clothes, my spear guns, and all. I got to get everything right because I'm about to go on a fucking mission. I'm about to go put in some fucking major work. So I got to get shit lined up. So I call my sister up. And I'm like, T, don't hang up your phone. Just sit it down. In a little bit, I'm gonna hit your pager. I'm gonna type hello on your pager. And back then, that was like code, hello. And I think it's like 43770. And that was just hello. I said hello and you flipped it upside down or some shit, right? And I'm gonna hit hello, I'm gonna type hello on your pager. And that's code for you to, okay, now we can hang up the phone. Because what I'm about to do, I need a fucking alibi. What I'm about to do, I need to be able to say, nope, it couldn't have been me because I was on the phone with my sister. Check the phone records. I don't know who killed them two motherfuckers, but it wasn't me. And I'm not even telling my sister what I'm about to do, but she already know my mentality. She already know what I'm about. And so she starts crying on the phone, and I'm not trying to hear that bullshit. You know what I mean? I ain't got time for this bullshit. I don't give a fuck about my sister crying. You know what I mean? Fuck this shit. Because this motherfucker over here done fucked up. This motherfucker over here done broke my heart. This motherfucker over here done left me. This motherfucker over here, nah, she done did me wrong. And she gonna have to pay the price for this shit. And because she's with this motherfucker, he gonna have to pay the price too. I ain't got shit against him, but he's there, so he's guilty by association. He's got to go too. And so I'm talking to my sister and Tish, man, just don't hang the phone up. I'll hit your pager in a few minutes, in a little while, and then we can hang up. And so she's screaming and crying, Daddy, I'm not Daddy, but don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And so I don't even understand. I understand now, but I didn't even understand at the time why I called my sister. My motherfucking sister ain't never had my fucking back. My motherfucking sister ain't never looked out for me. My motherfucking sister has always tried to break my heart, has always tried to sabotage me, has always tried to fuck up my life. Always. Why the fuck am I calling her? Again, I tell you guys all the time, all things are always working out for our good. Everything is always working out for our good. You may not see it, you may not understand it, but you have to trust the process. And so I'm sitting there and I'm talking to Tish, and I'm like, Tish. It's good, it's good, it's good. Just don't hang the phone up. I'll hit your page up in a little bit. And so she says, what about the kids? And I don't even know how she knew this shit. What about the kids are good. The kids should be straight. What are you talking about? Because I'm not going to tell her what I'm about to do. But I guess you can hear it in my voice. I guess you can hear the pain in me. We have a soul tie. And so, she's the only person in the world that could say the thing that she said that'll fuck me up. She asked me about the kids, and the kids are good. What's shit gonna happen to the kids? She said, don't do to the kids what Pops did to us. And when she said it, it was like a 2-ton brick just hit me on my shoulder and just made me slide down the wall. And tears began running out of my eyes. Because for the first time, I never even processed the fact that, man, I don't know why my daddy killed my mama. I later found out, years later, that my mama left my daddy. She was sick of his abuse, sick of his emotional abuse, his physical abuse, sick of his just bullshit. And so she left. And so he convinced her to come back over one time and to bring me so he could see me one last time. And that's how me and my mama ended back up at my daddy's place. so my daddy could kill her right in front of me. And I never really understood that until later. And so as my sister's crying, don't do to the kids what Pops did to us. It hit me. Damn, I'm getting ready to make the same fucking mistake. I'm getting ready to walk down the same fucking path that my daddy did. I hate my daddy, and I want to kill my daddy for the shit that he did to us, for the pain that he inflicted on us, and I'm about to do the same fucking thing to my babies. Why? Because I'm hurt. Because I'm hurt. Now I got to do some shadow work. Now I gotta understand, why am I walking down this fucking path? Why am I facing this fucking decision? Because I was so against my daddy for what he did, and he was a bitch and a fucking coward and a punk and a lame and a square and everything else for killing this woman, and here it is. Years later, I'm making the same choice. I'm making the same choice. And it was the soul tie that I had with my trifling ass fucking sister that stopped me. It's the soul tie that I had with my one sister that I couldn't fucking stand. The one sister that I wanted to fucking kill. The one sister that I thought was fucking useless. And she serves no fucking purpose. And so, now, years later, my wife is getting ready to pass away. And God's taking me back down memory lane. And God is showing me all of this stuff that I just went through. All this stuff that I was about to do. God's bringing all this back to my remembrance. Shadow work. Soul ties. And now I'm seeing my sister as the person who saved those two people's lives. I'm seeing my sister as the person that kept me off a death row for murdering these two people. I'm seeing my sister as the person who taught me the lesson of my daddy's struggle, of my daddy's circumstance. Who did my daddy have to reach out to stop him from doing what he did? Who was there for my pappy? Did he call anybody, man, throw a lifeline out to anybody, reaching out for help? Or was he so engulfed in rage and anger, man, he wouldn't have listened anyways? And so now I'm seeing life through a different perspective. Shadow work. Now I'm having to understand why I hated women leaving me. Why I had abandonment issues. See, because when they left me, man, it triggered my childhood of me not being good enough. See, when they left me, it was a reminder to me that you ain't shit. You ain't never gonna be shit. The same shit that I heard from my family when I was growing up. When all these women left me, it was a subconscious reminder to me of my mama leaving me, of my mama abandoning me. And the truth be told, I'm gonna share something with you guys. I low-key hated my mama. I hated my mama because I blamed my mama for dying. I blamed my mama for leaving me. Because if my mama hadn't left me, then I wouldn't have been placed in that toxic, crazy ass Christian household where I was molested and emotionally abused and beat down and told I wasn't shit and what to do. If my mama hadn't left me. And so I blamed her for dying. I blamed her for abandoning me and leaving me all alone in this fucked up world full of hate. I blamed my mama for that. And so God had to show me shadow work. Elijah, bruh, you're fucked up. You're dealing with your wife right now. But I want to show you how fucked up you are emotionally. And it ain't got shit to do with Cecilia getting ready to die. It ain't got shit to do with Cecilia having cancer. It ain't got shit to do with Jimmy dying from colon cancer. Elijah, you're fucked up emotionally. And you're so used to it, you don't even realize how fucked up you are. Because it's normal. This is what you've known your whole fucking life. So you're used to it. You think it's everybody else. So soul ties, shadow work, man, they're both here to help us grow. To help us grow. I don't care what you're going through. I don't care what you've gone through. I don't care how they hurt you. There's a soul tie there. There's a connection there. And again, because we don't really understand and we don't really believe that concept that everything is always working out for our good. What's up with you, Randy? We don't see how these negative soul ties have blessed us, how they've been placed in our lives to bless us, to help us. Because we just see the pain, we just see the hurt, we just see the losses. Because we haven't grown up emotionally to understand that there's a blessing and a lesson attached to everything we've gone through. Everything. Good or bad. And that the truth be told, the more the pain, the more the suffering, the greater the loss, the greater the reward. The greater the bounce back, the greater the comeback. See, we look at life and man, we could learn through good stuff. But you learn your greatest lessons. You learn the most life-changing lessons. The most impactful lessons comes from deep hurt, deep loss. It's the loss, the hurt, that teaches us the most. But we don't see it like that. We stay stuck in our anger. We stay stuck in our victim mentality. And we stop trusting people. We give up on life. We give up on God. Because we don't remember who we are. Because we don't understand why we've gone through all that we've gone through. And so we have to understand, man, while going through all of the crazy, tragic stuff, And then by us having platforms or just conversations. And this is one of the things that I love about the AA program and the NA programs and all the other drug counseling programs, where they have people that have been strung out on dope. People that are strung out on alcohol, and they changed their life around, and they're now talking to people who are, man, they're struggling in their addiction. And so they're telling their story. Man, I was an alcoholic for 40 years, lost 3 wives, 5 kids, 4 businesses, and lost millions of dollars. Man, because they've been there and done that. The people that are in addiction can see them, and now they're given more hope. Because this person has lost so much more than I have. This person has suffered so much more than I have. Man, this person, because of their addictions, look how many times they've been in and out of prison. Because of their addictions, look at how many relationships they fucked up. Their kids don't even fuck with them anymore. Their mama and daddy don't even trust them no more. Their own family has cut them off. Because of their addiction, man, they were homeless for 15 years, living under the bridge, living in the parks, dumpster diving. And for those people with addiction, man, that gives them hope. Man, look at them now. Man, they're happy. They're married again. And man, they have a business and they're helping all these people. They're coming to these AA meetings, these NA meetings, and they're pouring their heart out and they're transparent before the world and they're telling everybody their story and their pain and their suffering. And all of their losses, all the embarrassing, nasty, grimy shit that they've gone through, and they're sharing it here. Why? Because they want us to know that, man, it's not just me. I'm not the only one going through this. I'm not the only one suffering from this. I'm not the only one where my daddy abused me. I'm not the only one where my mama rejected me. I'm not the only one where my daddy sold me to his friend or my mama gave me to her boyfriend so he could do what he want with me. I'm not the only one where these people gave me dope at an early age. And so now when we share our story after we've healed from this, now we encourage and inspire and empower other people. They're like, hold up, wait a minute. Man, I thought my life was fucked up. Man, I thought my childhood was fucked up. And now they're able to see it from a different perspective. Now they're able to deal with their issues because there's somebody else been there, done that. No more fucking excuse. You can't tell me shit that I haven't heard. Been there, done that. You can't sugarcoat shit to me. You can't tell me what I fucking want to hear and how you're going to get your life together and what to do. And I know you're still stuck in your addiction. And as soon as you get out, you're going to go get you a fix. And so we go through what we go through. All of us. And you guys have heard me say this. We all have gone through what we've gone through so that we can heal from it, so that we can grow through it. And so then after we've grown through it, we could turn around and help other people grow through their pain, their suffering, their trauma, their brokenness. It's not for us to grow through and then start popping our collar, talking about, look at me, I've arrived. It's about us going back into the dungeons, into the ditches, into the gutters, and helping everybody else. Being a beacon of light so that everybody can find their way out of their darkness. See, now that I've learned how to deal with my shadow work, now that I've understood and I've learned what shadow work is, and now I've understood, man, I got to go deep into the subconscious thoughts. Man, I got to dive deep, and this motherfucking abyss just never seems to end, and I just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Why? Because there's more shit to heal, more shit to resolve, and the deeper I go, the more people I'm able to heal, the more people I'm able to help. The more I understand about my soul ties, I no longer look at these people as bad people. I no longer stand in judgment of all these people. I don't stand in judgment of my daddy. Why? Because I can relate to my daddy. I was facing the same situation, facing the same choices that he was. So I understand the pain. I sympathize with his struggle. I don't have that self-righteous judgment nature. Though I'm looking at my daddy and that sorry ass motherfucker he wasn't shit, and look at me. I was facing these decisions and I didn't do that. And no. You do that with self-righteousness. You do that because you haven't resolved your fucking issues. You do that because you haven't fucking grown the fuck up yet. You do that because you haven't learned the lesson. And you haven't seen the blessing. And so the soul ties, man, it's an emotional attachment, a deep emotional, spiritual attachment that we have with people to help each other. Whether it's to uplift them or to cause them pain. Whether it's to inspire them and show them out of their darkness. Or be the catalyst for their heart to be broken. For their life to be turned upside down. And it doesn't matter what your intent is. See, you can have a good nature, a good heart, a pure intent. And man, you're in a relationship with somebody and it's like, man, I can't do this no more. This isn't good for me. This is too toxic. I can't do this no more. And it's not that you want to leave the relationship because you want to hook up with somebody else. You just, man, I got to have my peace of mind. I lost me. I've lost me being in this toxic ass relationship. Man, we're at the point of, man, we're going to hurt each other. We're violent with each other. We're cussing each other out. We're about to put hands on each other. Man, we got to cut this shit off. It's toxic as fuck. And so you leave the relationship. Not because you're looking at hooking up with somebody else. You leave the relationship because you understand how toxic and how bad the relationship is. Now, the other person. Now, the person that you left, they're sitting there feeling like a victim. They're sitting there with the world flipped upside down, brokenhearted, angry as fuck because you just left them. You just abandoned them. You just told them they wasn't good enough. You just told them they wasn't shit. That's not what you said. That's what they perceived because of their unresolved issues. Because of their trauma and their drama. They're a victim. Has nothing to do with your intent. Your intent was righteous. Your intent was to save the both of you. Because you saw, man, if we stay in this relationship a little longer, one of us is going to get fucking hurt. Because I'm not backing down and your ass ain't backing down. One of us is going to get hurt. Either I'm taking a skillet to your fucking head or we're going to do some shit. You know what I mean? And one of us or both of us going to the fucking pen for domestic violence. And so man, I got to get out of this shit. for the both of us. So I'm trying to help you and help me too. But that person don't see it as you trying to help them. That person sees you as being a fucking asshole and selfish and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. That person sees you as being this cruel son of a bitch who gave up on them, who abandoned them, who broke them. And now they have their tower moments. They have their fork in the road. They have their life-changing circumstance, situation. They can either grow from this or stay a fucking victim and become angry and toxic and more angry and toxic. And a lot of times, many of us that have left toxic relationships like this and people that we've left and they try to come back, man, I've changed and I've grown up and went through, but and I got my life together. I'm no longer a bum. I got a job. I had this job for 6 months and I got a good paycheck. I'm no longer living with my mama, even though I'm 50-something years old. I've been living with my mama my whole fucking life and we got all this bullshit that we changed. But the person we was in a relationship, man, I'm glad that you changed. I'm glad that you've got your life together. I'm glad that you're standing up on your own 2 feet. I'm glad that you're manning up, womaning up, you're handling your responsibilities, you're accountable. I'm glad that you're going to counseling for your anger issues. I'm glad that you've been off of dope and drugs and alcohol. I'm glad that you're clean and sober for 6 months. We're glad of all that, but I can't be with you. I can't be in another relationship with you. I'm glad you've done all this stuff, but don't do it for me. I hope you didn't do it for me because I can't go back down this path with you. I'm glad that you're dealing with your anger and you cut your mama out of our relationships. I'm glad that you put your mama in her place now, but I can't do this with you no more. I'm glad that you finally put your baby daddy, your baby mama in their place and you're not fucking with them no more and creeping with them and doing stupid ass shit with them no more, but I can't fuck with you no more. And so although they changed their life and they were hoping to get you back, or maybe it's reversed. Maybe you changed your life now. Maybe you've grown up. Maybe you've matured now in hopes of winning them back. And they told you no. And for some people, that's so devastating. It makes them spiral out of control. They become more strung out on dope, worse than they were before. They become more angry, more toxic, more bitter, more hateful. Because they really didn't deal with their issues. And it wasn't your intentions to break their heart. It wasn't your intentions to fuck their world up. It wasn't your intentions for them to spiral out of fucking control like that and become a drug addict and become an alcoholic and full-blown whatever. That was not your intention. Your intention was to save you two by getting the fuck out of the relationship. We have to grow up. And we have to understand, man, everybody's not going to see life the way you see it. You're not going to see life the way everybody else sees it. And it's not about that. You have to do your shadow work. You have to go deep into your subconscious thoughts. And sometimes, man, it's easier to sit down and just grab a notebook and just start writing down your feelings. Write down how you feel about yourself, how you feel about this. See, some people don't like having sex, believe it or not. There's some people that's not real intimate when it comes to sex in a relationship. Why? Because they haven't really dealt with their issues of being raped or being molested. And they were traumatized sexually. And so that's still an issue for some of them. Some people have become over promiscuous. They over sexualize themselves now. It's all about sex because they were tampered with. We all handle things different. We respond to our pain and our trauma different. And so we have to sit down and understand who I am. Why am I this way? And start writing it down. Why do I see women this way? Why do I see guys this way? Why do I see relationships this way? Why do I believe this stuff? Why do I believe that I'm not good enough? Why do I believe that I'm not pretty enough? Why do I believe I'm not smart enough? Whatever it is that you feel, you think about yourself, that's not healthy. And the truth is, most of the stuff that we feel about ourselves isn't healthy. And so by writing stuff down, how do I feel? And being honest with ourselves. Because nobody's going to read the book anyways. Nobody's going to read the journal anyways. Why do I feel this way? Why do I believe this? And then start writing down all the things that you can remember, all the things you could think about. And sometimes we have dreams, nightmares. And those dreams are nightmares. Just stories, pictures of what's in our subconscious thoughts. Those dreams, those nightmares are just things, pictures of experiences in your life and your subconscious thoughts that have been played out. And there's a bunch of symbolisms, bunch of metaphors. And so your job is to understand, what does this dream mean? What is this dream trying to tell me about me? What is this dream trying to teach me? What does this picture mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? Why was there so many of these things? And why was it this? And why was, man, you have to do that work. And so often we go to books and books and talk about dreams, and then that's not always that case. Your dreams are personal. You have to understand it because it's different for you as opposed to somebody else. It's like fish. They say fish represents pregnancy. Fish don't represent pregnancy all the fucking time. We have to grow up. What does it represent to you? What does the water represent to you? See, because to somebody else, it can be rejuvenation and refreshing and rebirth and blah, blah. To you, it can represent drowning. It can represent death. The complete opposite of what everybody else is talking about. And so you have to be able to do the work. You have to be able to sit there and understand why. I can't take everybody's answer for this. It's an individual thing. It's an individual journey. I have to understand what it means to me. Soul ties. They're not all bad. There's a lot of soul ties that we have that are great. Our shadow work. That's not always a bad thing. That's a great thing to help us understand who we are. The soul ties, man, some are good, some are bad, but they're all good. Why? Because everything is always working out for us if we humble ourselves and learn the fucking lesson. The problem is we don't want to learn the lesson because we think we already know it all. Because we think we already got this figured out. And you're just a son of a bitch, an arrogant, narcissistic, pompous ass. So and it's like, okay. I've talked to so many women. I've talked and tried to counsel so many women who are single and still waiting on their twin flame, their soulmate, this guy who's broken their heart and ran off with some other woman. And they're still sitting there. What's up with you, Reese? Still sitting there waiting for this person to come back to them. Because they're convinced that they have this soul tie with this person, the soul contract, and all this other bullshit. This their twin flame and their soulmate. And they're gonna live happily ever after they realize that this other person ain't the one for them. And so they're sitting there miserable, lonely as fuck, not dealing with their real issues, not growing the fuck up. Because they don't really understand who this person was in their life and why this person came to their life. I'm gonna have to do it now. I've done a video in the past talking about twin flames and soulmates. We'll have to do that some other time. Man, my prayer, my hope is that you understand that, man, we have to grow up. Everything is about us growing up. It's about us learning the lesson and then flipping that energy to be a blessing to other people. My beautiful queen and I, we thank you guys for being here. We thank you guys for your energy. We thank you for supporting this channel and being a part of this channel. We love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.